Welcome back to This Week at MBE. So it is Monday night, and we got Scott, myself, and Biggs working behind the camera tonight. And we got big nines in the 100, the DMG 100. We're doing op 1. So op 1, what we do for op 1 is we do seat bores. So for the inserts, and then we press the inserts in here. And then we do guide bores, spring pockets, and a few other things to get them ready for seats and guides so we can do final porting. And like I said, the reason we do that is that we can move things where we want to, so everything's an advantage instead of relying on the manufacturer of the cylinder head, a Dart, a Brodex, a CID, whoever it might be. We try to control all that ourselves to always try and ensure that our customer has an advantage. So we'll go over here. The other DMG right now is running, we call alcohol heads, but so these would be like Promod style heads, things that go on like alcohol funny cars, things like that, or tractor pullers. So tractor and truck pulls very common for this, and they run blower and applications in that. But we have customers putting these on turbocharged applications, Pro Charger, roots blower, screw blower, and then we have, so this has op 1 finish, so that's, we got everything to this point. So now it has the seats pressed in it, and then when Scott leaves tonight, more than likely he's going to put this on when he leaves, and then this one will be finished in the morning. This op right here will take about 8.5 hours to finish, to do all the finish boarding, chambers, it'll do push rod clearance. It does a lot of things. There's a lot of machining left in this head to do, and it's 8.5 to 9.5 hours, which to do as much machining as it is, that thing is jamming. It is really getting with it. You got a set of Dart LS. Are these LS? Yeah. So these are a set of symmetrical heads right here. So we gotta put seat bores and guide bores and do all the first op on that. And we have a set of big nines came off the machine. So now we dry deck them. This customer's going to run methanol with a power adder on it. Power adder being either turbocharger, Pro Charger, anything that's going to run methanol. So not necessarily nitrous, because the nitrous needs the water in the cylinder head to cool the spark plug and keep the chamber cool. So this is for, like I said, a power adder. So we weld where the water comes out, because when it runs methanol, the methanol keeps the engine cool. It doesn't need the water, and if we dry deck it, they don't have to worry about if it lifts the head up, the water getting in the cylinders and stuff. So we'll go and deck this. You won't even be able to tell there's any weld on it. No one will know the difference, but this is what the customer asked for, and it's the right thing to do for his application. Then these will get final hone, valve jobs, and they'll get either hoops or O-rings in this. I think this set's getting hoops. We have a set of 23-degree heads. Yep, 23-degree heads. We do not port them, but we did update a set for a customer. And so they're all valve jobbed and ready to go. This has got to be decked and waiting on some parts, and those will be ready to ship too. And we'll come over here. Let's go in here, Mr. Meg. Got a set of our 10-degree wedge heads right here. So these are getting a manifold, so we're getting a manifold like this. So we got a few of these projects going on here with our Billet Dominator intake manifold. And the reason why this is so popular is because really no one has a decent Dominator manifold. Most of them are either not tall enough from here to the floor, or the floor is too wide. On the Edelbrock, some of them the floor is way too wide, and they do not make any power that way. In the past, customers used to put Dodge manifolds on these wedge heads, Chevrolet wedge heads, but now they have something that just bolts on. Everything is perfect. It has enough cross-sectional area in here, and it has enough enough plenum volume at the runners, inside the plenum to feed 440 cubic inches, or feed something that's 380 cubic inches that you're going to run a little more RPM for. Because as we've spoken in the past, these areas are dictated by cubic inch and RPM. If one of them goes up, you have to do it. But typically, when you run more cubic inch, you run less RPM because of the stroke, and vice versa. So that way, it kind of fits with many applications because of that. And then another big 9 is the billet manifold here. So this job's just about finished. They got all this mocked up. This one's pretty close to being finished. So you got the guys that if you run like especially this Outlaw 632 classes and things like that, and if you get a weight break, some of the associations offer a weight break for a single carburetor. This is your answer to that, because not only will you get the 50-pound weight break, you're also going to make a lot more power. This makes, typically, from our own cast manifold that we port, 45 to 65 more horsepower is what we've seen on all of them. It's been right in that range. So it's not going to, it might, we don't know, but it might make just as much or more than a Sheetman L2 carburetors. We do have somebody that's going to test that for us, so right now, I just say I don't know, but it's going to be close. I feel it's going to be really, really close. That manifold has been just a wonderful thing for us. And we got more big 9s going on here, so this is a normally aspirated set, so it'll have the small chamber and things like that. You can see the small chamber, not the larger chamber like we saw over there just earlier on the with the anti-detour chamber in it. And then, so since you last came, these are finished, just waiting for parts here. All of these have gotten ported. So just guys are going through things pretty quickly. We got all the stuff here. And we did good last week. We got this bench just about cleared off. And then, well, everybody's racing, so things need to be serviced when things get raced and or repaired. So stuff is just in here right here. This is an old set of NHRA Pro Stock cylinder heads that we did in 2007. It was one of the first, it was the first set of DRC E3s that we ever did. So rotated the valves around, things like that. But pretty old anymore, 2007, 15-year-old set of heads. And back in the day, we did that stuff for Mike Edwards. And we did some for Christian. And then, as you can see, you know, we're staying ahead of the parts orders, no problem. I promise you, I'm trying to inventory everything I possibly can without going broke. So all of this stuff, I would say pretty much all of this should be assembled this week. Dave will be back tomorrow morning at 7, and he has his hands full. There's a lot for Dave to do. So he's going to be very, very busy with that. And more than likely, we're going to have him and Ian assembling heads to get all this stuff out of here. We had a lot of valves show up in the last 3 or 4 days. We've had approximately probably 12, 14 sets. So those 12, 14 sets, all those will be ready for shipment by the end of the week and or Monday of next week. So very close. You can see all this is just a set right here. You can see when the stuff comes in. So you would think, like glance, this head just needs to be serviced. It's valve jobbed and ready to go when you can't even tell it was run. So, you know, they had some stuff that got in the cylinders and banged around in here, but it's just cosmetic. It doesn't do anything. It's not where the head gasket seals, even though it looks like it's close. It's close, but it's not there, so there's no reason to put weld in it if you don't have to. So, but it's just a testament of the guy's workmanship when we service a set of heads and it looks like it's brand new again. And that's another set right there. That's just in for service. That's all that was there. So that's pretty much it. That's this week at MBE. Thank you for joining us, everybody, and have a great night.